Well, everyone, iOS 15 has officially came out, so let's take a look at it on the iPhone 6s. Now, this is actually the Gold Master, but the Gold Master and the official are the exact same thing pretty much, or the release candidate. And this update, I've installed pretty much every single beta on this phone. Unfortunately, with iOS 15, I didn't really make a video on every single one, but I still fell through and, installed the updates. And it actually has gotten pretty good right now. So some of the main updates, if some of you already don't know, you have spatial audio, which is really awesome within FaceTime. You have grid mode within FaceTime, and you can also send links to people outside of iOS with FaceTime links. So if you have somebody who has an Android phone, you can send them a FaceTime link, which is actually really cool. And even though this was a cool update and it's a big one, there really wasn't anything super crazy with it that you have to go and install day one. Now, you also have a live text within your Photos app, which isn't supported on the iPhone 6s, unfortunately, but you do have focus mode. So this is something that I really don't think I'm ever going to use, but it's essentially, if you go ahead and force touch into it, you pretty much have the capability of using a certain amount of apps or using certain apps whenever you'd like. So you can see we can use Do Not Disturb, we can set different focus modes. So let's say we want to focus mode on personal stuff. Let's say it's messages and FaceTimes and emails. Well, we can set up a focus mode for that specific thing. Let's say you wanted something for work. Well, if you set a focus mode for work, maybe you can't use things like Snapchat or different things like that. So you can set them up with however you want to. I made a separate video talking about this. I think it's cool. I am probably never going to use it, but if you're somebody who wants to, then you have that capability. On top of that, iMessage has also gotten a little bit of an update. So there's a little bit more capability now, which is really cool. And again, nothing super crazy, but one super crazy thing is iOS 15 now supports drag and drop system wide. So let's say we make our way over to the app like this, Safari browser. Well, what we can do is we can go ahead and let's say we want to drag this little item over. Well, we can drag it just like this. We can even click the home button and you can see we are still dragging that specific thing. And we can go ahead and open up the Notes app and we can go ahead and make a new Notes and we can go ahead and add this specific drop thing right to our notes. And you can see it tried to do it. I don't think it worked out too well, but you do have that system wide, which is actually really awesome. Maybe we can do the same thing here. So I can double click here and drag this right here. And at least it dragged that link over. So now it's system wide, so you can run wild with it. This is probably one of the more important things I'm going to use. I love it, and I'm so glad they put it into it. On top of this, notifications have also been a little bit redesigned, so they look a little bit more different, but also some system UIs have changed too. So if we go and make our way over to the Settings app, there's actually a slight change with this specific application, which is actually pretty interesting. So it looks a little bit more like there's more a gap between the sides, but also within software updates. But now within system updates and software updates, we now have the ability of not only installing iOS 15 updates, but if we wanted to stay on iOS 14, we have the ability of installing the most up-to-date version of iOS 14. So that's another really awesome thing. And Safari as a whole has pretty much been updated like crazy. So we now have this bottom bar down here. You can add tabs by going like this and continue to add tabs and all this other stuff. I like it. There's ways to kind of limit it if you want to, but I think it's pretty cool and it does add kind of a gesture-based design to these older iPhones, including the iPhone 6s. So those are the new updates for the most part with iOS 15. Again, I would still recommend you to stick with iOS 14. And the main reason for that is because iOS 15, even though it wasn't a crazy big update, there's still going to be a lot of problems. Like I said, I've installed almost all the betas on it. There were issues throughout the board. So you're better off sticking with a lower end version of iOS 14 or the highest end version of iOS 14, like 14.8, 14.7.1, then installing iOS 15 right out the gate. There's going to be a lot of problems. There's going to be a lot of bugs. And I'd probably recommend you to stick on the lower version than the higher version, to be honest. But that's pretty much it. I'm excited about iOS 15. I think it's going to be great. I'm still not going to install it on my main phone just yet, but at least on a 6S, you know that it runs fairly well. I didn't have too many issues with battery life throughout the board because it was pretty much the same thing as 15, so there was nothing crazy there, and I think this is going to be a pretty stable update for a majority of people, but again, it's definitely not going to be perfect. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.